Yo, want to make this video? I'll be honest, I might quit this game. I've tried to get through the story, I really have. I'm on like chapter, I think 2. Some like military base or whatever, but to be honest, I just can't get past this TV mode thing. It's just too much for me. It's just too painful to get through because, there's just so much stopping and waiting for people to talk and then move your bang thing or whatever across the screen, and it's just like every time I think I might get to actually play the game, I get into the TV mode, and it's almost like they made the gameplay in this game a gacha system, where sometimes you get lucky and you get some gameplay, and then other times, most of the time, you get shit rolls and you get the TV mode. And it's like, okay, well, there's a gacha in the characters and stuff. It's like, yeah, it is what it is for games, but if the game's going to become a gacha for the story, if it's basically going to be like 20, 30 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is, of tutorial, and then there's the game, and you can't review the game until you've got through like the 20 or 30 hours of tutorial first, and then you can play like 10 minutes of the actual game, and then you can review it. That's stupid, because if the tutorial's 20 hours long, that's something you could complain about. You could be like, why is the tutorial 20 hours long? Why isn't there difficulty progression? Why are you not teaching people the mechanics and the combat while they're doing the story? Why is it something they have to find out at the end of the game if there is an end game? I don't even know there's an end game. This might be the game completely. But at the end of the fucking day, right now, it's really hard for me to get past the story so I can get to that end game. I think even to some extent it's time gated. I don't know if I've done everything I need to do and then stops and then wait through the time gate. So I might even be more behind in the future because I didn't sit through bullshit right now. So it's almost like it's just self-defeating. It's like, okay, I'm even more behind. Why bother, right? Because whenever I'm in that TV mode, whenever I'm playing that TV mode, I try to get through it, but the pounding thought in my head is I could be playing something else. I could be playing Wuthering right now. I could be collecting chests in the open world, and then I can stare at Yinlin's ass in a nice world and do that. And that way I'm getting Astrite for my account so I can get those pulls on Changli, so I'm building that up while I still have gameplay I'm enjoying, right? Because even collecting chests in the open world Wuthering is still gameplay. You can still do the jump tech tricks, so there's still stuff you can do. You can kill enemies along the way. You can, if you are like done doing that, you can just go fight a boss. So you have all these options in Wuthering to just play the fucking game. This game, they go out of their fucking way to restrict all the gameplay behind bullshit that you have to do. So I might quit the game because of that, because it sucks. That's the way it is, but it is. So nonetheless, I wanted to show off what I think is a pro of this game. And by the way, I got this character. I don't really like her, but I have her. But anyways, this game, like the reason why this is such a shame for me and why I'm really upset about this is because this isn't a bad game. If this was some bad game that no one gives a shit about and they had bad balancing and bad stuff like that, it's like, who gives a shit? It's a dog shit game, who cares, right? This game is awesome. The potential this game has is nuts. So that's why I think it's a real shame that they're just they've dropped the ball when it comes to balancing the game. There's no mid-game. It seems there's just tutorial and then end game. So, but let me show you what the potential this game's got to offer. So you can see I'm playing Nicole, one of the best characters in the game, in my opinion. This team I'm playing is actually a great team that you can do stuff on. So it's the team I run. Also probably makes the game a little bit more challenging because they're the base characters, so that's another way you can up your difficulty a little bit. But nonetheless, what you can do on Nicole is you can do her heavy, see, like this, and she shoots. You can, whack people with her briefcase, and you're like, okay, she's a melee character, but she has, like, a ranged option, right? Well, you can actually swap cancel in this game, just like in Wuthering. And I would even argue that the swap canceling in this game is better because it's more fluid. Unlike with Wuthering, your attacks are like skill shots for your swaps, whereas this game your characters will actually turn around, so you don't have to worry about missing. You don't have to worry about doing like skill shots with your swap cancels, because maybe on PC where you can move your mouse and stuff, that's fine, but on mobile you have to use your thumb for all the controls, so having another element of like camera manipulation, for me at least, is impossible. So not having to worry about that in this game, I think this is just the better mobile game, at least in terms of the framework for swap canceling. So especially since it's only one button to swap your characters instead of hitting multiple buttons like it is on PC. So for mobile, again, I think this is like the better swap cancel game than Wuthering because of that. So what you can do is you can hold her heavy and then you can swap and see, look, she still hits him. So you can do that again, swap. Then another thing to do on Billy is, like, you see how he does his like machine gun fire? Well, if you move and then swap, so you can do that, and then he can keep going. So, and then with Ambi, you can do that attack, so you can swap. So you can start to get that swap cancel tech trick and then try and do like combos. Sadly, the enemy in this game mode's really weak, so can't do great combos necessarily, but I'll have some footage later on that's showing like the hardest level I'm able to find. Again, hard as in it takes some time to kill them. I'm never actually in any danger of dying, but at the end of the day, at least it's not 2 minutes of gameplay, it's maybe like 4 minutes of gameplay, so that's nice. But yeah, as you can see, you just kind of want to do that. See, now he can swap there, and you can just start to really actually see he still took damage from Billy because he was still shooting. So I can actually basically have two characters on the field permanently, and if I wasn't playing with these mobile controls, if I had better controls, maybe you're on PC or something, you can probably have three characters at once, and then you just master the rotation, and then instead of playing one character, you're playing three characters. Or you're playing two characters, and then there's always one being swapped out. And that's what's so cool about this game. You also do it with skills, so you can do it with that skill. And it's just like, it's nuts that this exists in the game, by the way. You can do this right now. There's no real reason to do it right now. I haven't found any reason to do it outside of just, it's fun. But at the end of the day, this exists in the game. So there's a framework for this to make this game, in my opinion, better than Wuthering Waves for your average mobile player, because they'll be able to do a lot of the things you can do in Wuthering Waves, but with a lower barrier to entry and still maybe like a high skill ceiling, but a lower barrier to entry. This game, of course, the system requirements are lower. So again, I think this game has the potential to really be on par with Wutherings, even with its combat, because this is a more mobile-friendly combat system because of less buttons to press, no reliance on the camera. And then, of course, I think the swaps look more fluid, so I just think there's even more of a reason to learn swap canceling in this game. I think the swap canceling looks cool in Wuthering, but at the end of the day, it's not fluid like this. So I love swap canceling. Swap canceling is my favorite mechanic in Wuthering. I think it's the best way to do a 3-character game, because it's kind of cringe to just be like, well, I have 3 characters, but they're always just one character, right? And they like magically appear. It's like, no, instead, I have a whole team that's doing stuff on the battlefield. Nicole's the boss of the team, so she's going to be in the, you're going to see her a lot. But then Billy's still like the gunner, and he's still, doing that stuff. Nicole's doing her sword stuff. So it's like you got this whole team, and again, with Zenless, the characters will actually say stuff to each other, at least with this team. Another reason why this team's awesome, because you'll actually hear Nicole say stuff to Anby, you'll hear vice versa, and what's kind of funny is when Nicole spawns in, she goes like, okay, and Anby has a line when you switch to Anby over Nicole where she's like, Nicole, take a break. So if you do it quickly enough, what will happen is Anby will spawn in, tell Nicole to take a break, and then Nicole will immediately spawn in and just say okay. So it's like she said okay in the conversation. And it's like, wait, you're not taking a break though. So it's a little, I guess, immersion breaking in that way, but it's not too bad. And it's kind of funny sometimes for the characters to do shit like that. So, nonetheless, this is just beyond nuts that you can do this in a mobile game. Pretty easily too, because I'm playing it on the dog shit controls because they don't let you customize the UI like they do in Wuthering. And I'm still able to do it pretty reliably. So again, the potential is even higher than what I'm showing off. But yeah, this game's got potential. So I'm going to show off some pre-recorded footage. And then that will, show off it more because I won't be talking either. So I'll just be able to focus on the game completely. And hopefully you'll be able to see me doing that in action. Also, one thing too is when you end the game, there'll be the wipeout screen, and when you get the wipeout screen, it will, end with the character or characters, yeah, it's important, or characters that you ended with. So, normally you're going to see a lot of people end with one character, but it's actually possible to end with two, and I think it's possible to end with three. I just haven't been able to get it myself, but I've been able to get two consistently. So I have like Nicole and Billy, or Nicole and Anby, or Anby and Billy at the end of the screen instead of just Billy. And then yeah, if you get all three, then that could be a skill thing, because it does take a little bit of effort to do that. Could be a skill thing to add to the game, like a speedrunner kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, if you beat the level with one character, it's like, who cares? Like, you beat the game, you're a one-ender, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're a two-ender, then yeah, you actually beat the level. And if you're a three-ender, then you beat the level on hard mode. So, I mean, maybe that's what you could do for now, until you get to the end game, if there is an end game. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to be a two-ender in this game. Again, I don't know if I'm going to play this game long-term, but for now, this is my strategy. So, I'll see you in the pre-recorded. And if I'm using the pre-recorded footage, then I probably have a two-ender in it. So, yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey, so here's the pre-recorded footage. One thing I will say is, for the balancing in this game, it seems like they've really front-loaded a lot of your damage in the parry and the skill chaining thing where you press the character's icon and they bounce between. You'll see at some point I parry on Billy and it does 80% of the mobs, all the mobs' health. So I think that's another thing they could maybe fix, or at least give people the option to turn off the parry system and that, because the damage is so front loaded in that it kind of basically is what's killing a lot of your gameplay. Because wiping the whole floor with one button press is, in my opinion, not fun. So, yeah, maybe for some mobile players it is, but for me it's dog shit. So just give me a way to turn that off, and then I'll be able to have even more fun with the game. But yeah, here is these two modes. I'm going to be doing trial security patrol second, and starting with trial route maintenance. Trial route maintenance, so far, this is where the thing I can replay that's some gameplay that's got, enough length to it that I can have some fun. Again, it's not challenge, it's not like I'll ever die, but at the end of the day, at least I can kind of use the gameplay and play the game. So, this is me starting off. I believe I show my characters on the second mission. So let's start the video. Start the game with Nicole, so that way you can start with her heavy. I don't think I'd do any of that Billy stuff where you hold the fire and then move, because to be honest, I don't really think I can probably do that in my gameplay right now. Maybe down the road I master it some more. It's hard with these controls. So I just kind of focus on Anby and Nicole and just do their abilities, do her heavy, and then Anby's heavy on her third attack, and Billy I just kind of weave in basics. But you should be doing what I showed earlier in the video with Billy, nonetheless, as you can see, I'm just trying to not just press one button. I'm actually going to be doing swap cancels. I'm actually going to be doing that stuff so I can see. That's the thing that just does so much damage, especially when you have like 3 of them. And then if you do a parry, it's even more nuts. But nonetheless, see, I got through those enemies really quickly. Again, it's easy mode, but then I was still able to do some stuff. I get here, I do the heavy, I switch into Ambi, and then I try to do her heavy, then I switch back to Nicole. I think I do her skill, yep. See, there's the parry. Look at all that damage. The entire floor basically just got deleted because I parried. So, yeah. If I could turn the parry system off, I would. I wish I could do it in Wuthering. I don't like the parry system in Wuthering either. I wish I could just turn those off. And if you could turn off the parry system in this game, you would have more game to play, because right now the parry system's designed a way to delete your content. So, yeah, give me a way to turn it off, and I have more game to actually play. But nonetheless, I'm here fighting enemies, do that heavy, switch to Ambi, do her skill. You know, it's all about just trying to weave in swap cancels. Ambi's heavy is kind of annoying for me, so sometimes I don't get it off. The timing's a little weird. I'm still getting used to her timing, but Nicole's super easy to learn. Billy's not that hard either. So Ambi's probably the hardest one to learn. The rest are super easy. So, and Ambi's not like super hard, but she's just harder compared to everyone else in terms of her canceling. Because you have to do like 3 attacks and then do the heavy instead of just doing 1 attack heavy and then like, you know. So, this is a boss, kind of. It's more basically just a trash enemy with like an extra mechanic and more health. But nonetheless, it's a target dummy that I can beat on and do the combos on. Occasionally it's going to hit me and it will fuck up my combo, but I'm never going to die. So this is basically like kind of like the stage I'd recommend to just learn the combat on, because unlike the training room, the enemy constantly is dying. This is going to be giving you some like target dummy that you can work on and learn the combat. So I'm just doing this stuff. I believe this run's a 1-ender, but the next run's going to be a 2-ender. See, there's the parry. Again, the parry on bosses I don't think is too big of a deal, but on trash it's just the most broken thing ever. So maybe on bosses, it's not too big a deal. Maybe they just need to tweak the damage numbers on the parry. But yeah. Just trying to get as many swaps off as I can. Swap Billy's skill. And like again, there's that one character at the end. It's a 1-ender. It's not that much. Who cares? Anyone can get a 1-ender. But the next one will be a 2-ender. So the next one is just a boss fight. It's not, there's no trash. So the other one I showed off, the first floor, is the best one to run for gameplay. Sadly, you have to sit through loading screens. So it's not like it's replayable in a convenient way. It's replayable in a kind of an annoying way, but nonetheless, you can still do it. And that's the way you can get gameplay in your game. Here, I'm showing off my characters so you can see what they got. So again, it's level 20 Nicole, level 20 Billy, level 20 Ambi with these stats, these weapons. They're the starting characters. I don't really think I have any equipment other than the starting equipment. So, yeah, it's kind of the not bare bones, but close to bare bones team. And it's still this easy, so I don't even know, maybe if you're playing the meta team, then this strategy won't work, and it just won't be possible to play the game right now for you, and you'll have to play these characters. I don't know. But these are the characters I use, and I'm able to get some gameplay in this game, so this is what I'm doing. So we're on the boss. Nicole spawns in, one of the best characters in this game for pretty much everything. Appearance, personality, play style, just amazing character. Same thing with Billy and Ambi. So I think this is an amazing team. great that they give you it for free, so you don't have to go in the gotchas at it. So just, you know, if I get a parry, it's usually by accident. It's not me intentionally doing the parry. It's because I'm constantly hitting that swap button and the boss just happens to line up on that parry. Sometimes I'll parry intentionally in this game. Most of the time it happens by accident. See, that was accidental. Didn't mean to do that. And then see that chain, that just did a ton of damage, because it seems like that's a lot of where your damage is coming from, is that chain thing and the parry. But you can then do the swap canceling, and I think if you get it right, you can compete damage-wise with that. So maybe this is a skill-based way to get around that and have fun gameplay. And they just let you turn that off or something, and then that way you'll be able to have a third difficulty option where the parry's turned off and the thing's turned off, and then you can just be a swap canceler like me and actually have a game with some challenge to it. But nonetheless, we're about to end, and it's going to be a 2-swap. As you can see, Billy and Nicole are on the field. That's a 2-swap, or 2-ender. I hopefully get a 3-ender in the future. So that's the video. Bye.